Hi, my name is Anastacia Maldonado. I am a junior at University of Delaware, and I currently major in psychology. My obscure but phenomenal moment in Black history is based on Valerie Thomas, and what I did was a painting. Enjoy! Valerie Thomas was born in Baltimore, Maryland on February 8th in 1943. At the age of 8, she had found a book called The Boy's First Book on Electronics, and that is what had partially piqued her interest in electronics and science, other than the fact that her father would do projects on technology and she would watch, wanting to help, only to be refused. There were projects in the book that she could do that she showed her dad, and he said that he could do it, but he never showed her and would always tell her to go and do girly things, like sewing or doing her hair with her mom, instead of the manly things like building electronics or messing with technology. Valerie went to an all-girls school, and science and math subjects were usually discouraged if the girls had wanted to take them due to the stigma surrounding women in science/math. But she persevered and was able to take a class in physics. She graduated from high school and ended up attending Morgan State University to get her bachelor's in physics. Valerie took a class that only the head of department could allow students to take, and that class was abstract algebra. She was one of the 2 women in the physics program at Morgan State University and graduated at the top of her class. After Valerie had graduated at Morgan State University with her bachelor's degree in physics, she got hired at NASA as a mathematician data analyst. Valerie, in her beginnings at NASA, did a lot of research. She first analyzed data from the Orbiting Geophysical Observatory, which was a bunch of U.S. satellites that were launched in the 1960s, by writing quick-look assembly language programs, since there were no communication satellites yet. It then led her to start her work on the Landsat programs in the 1970s. The Landsat program was a program involving uncrewed scientific satellites designed to collect information about Earth's natural resources. That came about around the time that hardware and software image processing systems were being developed in Michigan, and Valerie had taken what she had learned from her working with the Orbiting Geophysical Observatory and writing the assembly language programs to create a program that would help read digital tapes from the Landsat program and print them out in a more readable format. The program was so successful that after the launch of the first Landsat satellite, that small program became the quality control tool used in the operations process, when some of the scientists detected irregularities on the digital data tapes. The process was called the Val dump, then leading to Valerie Thomas becoming involved in the Lacey project due to her work with the Landsat program. Valerie herself said that the branch had established a group to work on the Lacey feasibility study with an extremely challenging goal: to complete the following in about 5 months to support a Landsat launch. They needed to develop a digital image processing system that produced 100 test sites per day in wheat fields in specified countries around the world, and with accuracy to ensure that the exact same area on the ground is covered for the entire growing season, conduct R&D to achieve the required accuracy capability, purchase hardware to augment the existing computer hardware system to handle the Lacey image processing system requirement to process 100 test sites per day. Valerie herself said that the Lacey project was challenging because she was responsible for managing the development of image processing systems, and when the original task leader left the group, she became the leader responsible for all of GFFC's Lacey contributions. The success of the project was critically dependent upon the extreme accuracy requirement, and the purchase of computer hardware during that time would take what seemed like forever. A contractor had doubted Valerie, saying that she was asking for the impossible, and she had responded with, "I know, how long will it take to do it?" causing said contractor to quit and leave. Another contractor soon took their place and was able to do what Valerie was asking of with no problem. The Lacey system at the time ended up only being able to do 10 test sites at a time, even though it was designed to do 100 due to the preliminary goal and the fact that the Marshall Space Flight Center could only process those 10 test sites a day. Thomas ended up being the one to present the information that was gathered from the research conducted with the Lacey project, and what was supposed to be a 15-minute presentation turned into 45 minutes due to multiple back-to-back questions based upon doubt and whether the project would actually be successful or not. After the Lacey Project in 1976 is when Valerie had gone to a museum exhibit that was science/technology based. The exhibit was an illusion of a glowing light bulb that had been unscrewed and removed from a lamp. It had been created using a second bulb pointing downward and a socket beneath the top socket, employing a concave mirror to produce the illusion of the lit bulb. Unlike flat mirrors, which produce images that appear to be inside or behind the mirror, concave mirrors create images that appear to be real or in front of the mirror itself. Seeing this exhibit is what sparked a light bulb above her own head and is what caused her to start experimenting with how such an image could be transmitted like other images were at the time. And she set up equipment observing any relationship between the objects and the images depending on the angle they were at near the concave mirrors. She ended up getting a patent for the illusion transmitter in 1980 after being successful with her experiment. The finalized product was a transmission system that uses a video recorder to take a picture of a floating image in front of a concave mirror. The video image is sent to a second camera, which projects the image in front of a second concave mirror. This process creates the optical illusion of a 3D image. The illusion transmitter can be used for 3D movies and TVs, and NASA uses it as well. They're also trying to use it for surgical purposes too. Thomas continued to work for NASA still with the creation of the illusion transmitter. She got a master's degree in engineering administration from George Washington University in 1985 while being the National Space Science Data Center Computer Facility Manager. Then in 1986, she became the project manager of the agency's Space Physics Analyst Network, which was created to help scientists share data and collaborate on space-related topics. Before retiring from NASA in 1995, Thomas held the position of Associate Chief of the Space Science Data Operations Office. She eventually got her doctorate in educational leadership from UD. Valerie has gotten a few awards over the course of her career. Two of those awards being the GSFC Award of Merit and the NASA Equal Opportunity Medal. She also mentors young students through the National Technical Association and Science, Mathematics, Aerospace Research and Technology, Inc., and the Shades of Blue DMV chapter. And that's all I have on the obscure but phenomenal Valerie Thomas. Thank you. And I most likely will put in an interview or some type of video of hers or including her at the end of me talking or this clip or whatever. Bye.
I'm Dr. Valerie L. Thomas. I'm the president of SMART, which stands for Science, Mathematics, Aerospace Research and Technology. SMART's been around for over 30 years, and what we do is we collaborate with NASA and Department of Physics and Astronomy at Howard University, the Howard Science Center, local schools, etc., to bring to young people information about science and technology. And we focus on things that are occurring in the universe. And that's why it's very important to collaborate with NASA and the Department of Physics at Howard, Physics and Astronomy at Howard.